Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The whispers coming out of Los Angeles are getting louder, and the Dodgers, usually a team known for stability and control, suddenly find themselves at the center of a storm that feels both surreal and dangerously real. Reports suggest that Tyler Glasnow, one of the newest and most talked about arms in the Dodgers rotation, has raised concerns behind closed doors that go far beyond pitching mechanics or clubhouse chemistry. The alleged claim is shocking. According to Glasnow, there might be a player inside the Dodgers roster who is contaminating the team, a word that immediately sparks speculation, fear, and of course, endless chatter among fans and insiders alike. No one knows if Glasnow was speaking literally, hinting at a health concern, or if he meant it in a more figurative sense, describing a toxic personality dragging down the group. Either way, the choice of wording lit a firestorm. And now the question is whether the Dodgers are facing a crisis that could derail not only their season, but their entire reputation for being one of baseball's most disciplined organizations. The situation escalated when whispers about Glasnow's remarks began trickling into the media landscape, first through anonymous sources, then through loosely connected insiders who thrive on feeding rumors to the press. The word contaminating carries a heavy weight in professional sports, especially after years where health crises left organizations scrambling for stability. Was Glasnow suggesting a physical illness, something capable of spreading in the clubhouse? Or was this the language of frustration, calling out behavior that infects morale and divides teammates? That uncertainty has created a vacuum filled with speculation, and speculation is gasoline in the media cycle. Dodgers fans, always quick to defend their team, now find themselves torn between dismissing the claims as overblown chatter or bracing for a revelation that could explain the uncharacteristic struggles the team has faced in recent weeks. Every misplay on the field, every poor at-bat, every late-inning collapse now feels like potential evidence for something deeper and darker lurking beneath the surface. Behind the scenes, players and coaches reportedly reacted with a mix of shock and anger when Glasnow's words were made public. Some view his remarks as an unnecessary distraction, especially in the middle of a season where the Dodgers are expected to dominate and chase another championship. Others, however, admit privately that something has felt off in the clubhouse, a strange tension that doesn't match the usual culture of unity and focus. The Dodgers have prided themselves on being an organization where stars and role players coexist with a common goal. Yet Glasnow's statement hints at fractures that the front office has tried hard to conceal. The truth may be far more complicated. Sometimes one person's complaint, even if exaggerated, taps into a shared unease that others have been too afraid to articulate. Could Glasnow have voiced what some teammates secretly feel but dare not say? Or did he cross a line by throwing gasoline on a fire that could engulf the entire team? The Dodgers management, for now, has stayed silent on the matter, issuing no formal comment, no public denial, and no attempt to clarify Glasnow's words. That silence has only made the rumor grow stronger, because in sports, silence often reads like confirmation. If the claim had no merit, wouldn't the team quickly dismiss it as nonsense? By refusing to address the situation head-on, the Dodgers have left fans and analysts to draw their own conclusions, and those conclusions often lean toward the most dramatic possibilities. Social media has erupted with theories, some suggesting a hidden medical issue spreading among players, others insisting that the problem is purely cultural, with one or more stars poisoning the atmosphere in the clubhouse. The longer the Dodgers wait, the more the rumor evolves, taking on a life of its own and morphing into something potentially more damaging than the original comment itself. For Glasnow, the fallout has been immediate and severe. He joined the Dodgers with high expectations, seen as a pitcher who could elevate an already strong rotation to historic levels. Now, instead of being celebrated for his performance on the mound, he finds himself cast as a whistleblower or perhaps a villain, depending on the perspective. Some fans are rallying behind him, praising his courage to speak up about issues others might ignore, while critics accuse him of undermining team unity for personal reasons. His reputation, carefully built through years of perseverance and flashes of brilliance, suddenly feels fragile, hanging in the balance of how this story ultimately unfolds. The question now is whether Glasnow can regain focus and deliver for the Dodgers under the shadow of his own controversial words, or if this controversy becomes the defining chapter of his first season in Los Angeles. What makes this rumor particularly dangerous is the timing. The Dodgers are in the thick of the season, juggling injuries, roster adjustments, and the immense pressure of meeting sky-high expectations. A distraction of this magnitude could easily spiral into a crisis that affects not only performance on the field, but also the long-term trust between players, management, and fans. Baseball is built on rhythm, on steady confidence, on the belief that the team operates as one. Glasnow's suggestion that someone inside is contaminating the group cuts directly against that foundation. Whether or not the claim holds any truth, its mere existence plants seeds of doubt in every corner of the organization. Teammates may begin questioning each other, reporters will push harder for answers, and fans will scrutinize every gesture, every interaction, searching for signs of who the alleged culprit might be. In a city like Los Angeles, where the spotlight burns brighter than anywhere else, this rumor could easily become an inferno, and the Dodgers may find themselves battling not only their opponents but their own internal shadows. As the days pass, the rumor refuses to die down, and if anything, it continues to grow, with new layers of speculation adding fuel to an already raging fire. Insiders claim that Glasnow's words were not a casual slip, but a carefully chosen expression of frustration that had been building for weeks. The notion that one player, or perhaps more, could be dragging the entire team down is a narrative that sells, and in the world of professional sports, perception often matters as much as reality. The Dodgers have built their brand on being untouchable, a model of consistency and power in Major League Baseball. But this story exposes cracks in that image. The press conferences now feel tense, every interview laced with avoidance and vague reassurances, while behind the scenes, the rumor mill insists that team meetings have grown heated, with voices raised and trust beginning to erode. Fans, unable to see the full picture, are left in limbo, unsure if this is the kind of crisis that ends with a rallying cry or the type that unravels a season once filled with promise. Glasnow himself, meanwhile, has not backed down publicly, though he has also avoided elaborating on what exactly he meant by contaminating. This ambiguity keeps the speculation alive, because without specifics, imagination takes over. Some believe Glasnow was hinting at a physical problem, perhaps something medical that the team has tried to keep quiet, while others are convinced it was about a player whose attitude or off-field behavior is damaging the group. Both theories carry weight, and both create drama that the Dodgers can ill afford. In a locker room filled with high-paid stars and veterans accustomed to success, even the smallest suggestion of division can become a distraction. And when that suggestion comes from a figure as prominent as Glasnow, the ripple effect is amplified tenfold. His decision to let the words linger without clarification might be strategic, a way of sending a message internally while letting the media apply pressure externally. Or it might simply be the result of frustration boiling over, with consequences he didn't fully anticipate at the time. The fans, as always, are caught in the middle, trying to reconcile their love for the team with the unsettling possibility that something truly toxic could be festering within. On social media platforms, debates rage about who Glasnow might have been referring to, with every underperforming player suddenly under suspicion. Some point fingers at established stars whose slumps feel inexplicable, while others look at newer additions, wondering if the chemistry never quite clicked. Rumors have even spilled into wild conspiracy theories, ranging from health concerns to personal conflicts that supposedly spilled over into the professional sphere. This frenzy of speculation may be unfair to the players, but in the modern sports landscape, perception often becomes reality. The Dodgers' silence continues to feed the narrative, and every day, without a statement, feels like another day where the rumor becomes more deeply entrenched in the public consciousness. For a franchise with a reputation built on dominance and professionalism, this is an uncomfortable spotlight that won't easily fade. What complicates matters further is the cultural weight of the word Glasnow chose. Contaminating isn't just about physical illness. It's about corruption, decay, and spread. It suggests something more insidious than a simple bad attitude. When a pitcher as articulate as Glasnow uses that word, it forces everyone to consider layers of meaning. Is there a literal health issue? Is someone ignoring protocols and putting others at risk? Or is it metaphorical, describing a player whose negativity is infectious, whose presence changes the energy of the room? Each interpretation is damaging in its own way, and the Dodgers' refusal to clarify only ensures that the conversation continues in every direction at once. This isn't just about one player or one comment anymore. It's about the very identity of the team, about whether the Dodgers are as unshakable as their reputation suggests, or if, like every great empire, they too are vulnerable to collapse from within. Meanwhile, rival teams are watching closely, knowing that any sign of weakness in Los Angeles could open the door for opportunities in the standings. Baseball is as much psychological as it is physical, and a distracted, divided Dodgers team could falter against opponents who smell blood in the water. Analysts are already speculating whether this rumor could affect trade decisions, roster moves, or even managerial strategies as the front office tries to control the narrative. The Dodgers, after all, are not just a baseball team. They're a brand, a business, a global symbol of excellence. A crisis like this threatens not only wins and losses, but also ticket sales, merchandise, and the carefully crafted image of dominance. In a league where perception matters to sponsors and partners, the pressure to resolve this quietly yet effectively is immense. But with every passing day, the situation seems less like a storm that will blow over and more like a saga that could define the Dodgers season. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. At the heart of it all remains the mystery. Who, if anyone, is the so-called contaminating force Glasnow alluded to? Until that question is answered, the Dodgers are trapped in a narrative they can't escape, one that paints them as vulnerable, divided, and uncertain. For fans, this is agony, the kind of storyline that distracts from the joy of the game itself. For players, it's a test of loyalty, trust, and resilience. And for Glasnow, it's a gamble that could either cement his place as a truth-teller unafraid to expose uncomfortable realities or brand him as the outsider who disrupted one of baseball's most celebrated clubhouses. The outcome remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. This rumor has already done damage, and whether or not it proves to be true, its shadow will linger long after the words were first spoken. The Dodgers, a team accustomed to controlling the story, suddenly find themselves controlled by it, and in Los Angeles, that's the kind of drama that doesn't just fade away, it becomes legend. The longer this saga lingers, the more dangerous it becomes for the Dodgers' internal dynamics, because in professional sports, whispers can quickly turn into wedges that divide a locker room. Even if Glasnow's comments were misunderstood, or even if they were exaggerated by outside voices, the mere presence of the rumor creates tension where none existed before. Imagine sitting in that clubhouse, wondering if teammates suspect you, if coaches are quietly questioning your influence, if fans online are attaching your name to toxic speculation. That constant unease can eat away at trust, and trust is the bedrock of any championship team. Without it, communication falters, camaraderie erodes, and performance suffers. Some insiders have even suggested that games now feel different, with players watching each other more closely, subtle glances exchanged in the dugout, body language scrutinized like never before. And while none of this may directly cause errors on the field, baseball is a mental game, and distractions of this magnitude rarely stay contained. For the Dodgers, the threat isn't just the word contamination. It's the contamination of belief the gnawing doubt that someone in the room is working against the collective goal, whether intentionally or not. The fallout extends beyond the players and into the fan base, where loyalty is suddenly mixed with suspicion, and every discussion is clouded by the shadow of Glasnow's remark. Talk radio lines are jammed with callers demanding answers. YouTube channels are dissecting every clip of post-game interviews, and blogs are posting theories that range from plausible to absurd. In a city like Los Angeles, where every story takes on cinematic proportions, this rumor has become less about baseball and more about narrative. Heroes, villains, betrayal, and the fragility of trust. Some fans insist this is nothing but a distraction, urging everyone to focus on the game, while others argue that transparency is the only way to move forward. Until the Dodgers step up and either deny or confirm the underlying truth, the fan base remains restless, caught between faith in their beloved team and the irresistible pull of scandal. This tension transforms every pitch, every at-bat, every dugout exchange into potential evidence for or against the swirling story. For a franchise used to inspiring confidence, the uncertainty may be the biggest opponent they've faced all year. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.